Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Danny's Life and Travel. And today we're gonna do a quick update on the stocks, on what's going on the AMD stock that I'm invested in. And again, I apologize for the bloody lighting; it's always terrible. But yeah, so we're gonna do a quick update on the stock, and then I'll go through all the different news stories and what are the coming events that are gonna impact the stock and make it go higher. So firstly, the stock itself. So as you can see, the stock has been going down. So the 13th was a Monday. So from that point onwards, it's been going down. But we're not worried because, again, I think it'll go to 20 or higher. It's at, it started off Monday at 13.49 and then start to decline. But it's not a huge deal. I mean, as you can see, I've been through this before. This huge decline from here all the way down, then back up again. So I'm confident it'll go up anyway. So where do we go from here? So firstly, let's talk about what's been going on. So in the coming weeks, so I'll just show you my calendar if I can quickly. So here's my calendar, and as you can see, we have next week is President's Day in America, and then you have 4 days here where for AMD there's nothing going on. There may actually be a negative issue because there's earnings for Tesla and Mobileye coming out, and I expect them to be negative, really have a negative impact on the tech stocks, so it might actually go down. So we have 4 days where there'll be next to nothing. I mean, this is commodities, it's Glencore, so it doesn't affect it. And then the week after that, that's when everything starts. So we've got the 27th of February, and so we're gonna have a presentation there at GTC, and it's going, for all of that week there'll be presentations and so on, and then there's going to be the Ryzen launch on the 2nd or the 3rd. So these 2 days at one point there'll be a product launch there, and again they'll still continue talking about it. So for that week I expect the stock to go up. I expect, because there's going to be a lot of hype, that's what's going to be happening. So let's go back to our what do you call it, the tabs I have set up for the website. So firstly, stock is going down, but not to worry. Next thing is what has been going on in the past. So we've got 2016, at the end of 2016, we've got this news story from WCCF Tech, and what they're saying is that towards the end of 2016, the GPU market increased for NVIDIA and AMD. So you can see green team, that's NVIDIA, and that's 17.5% increase. So it's at 17.5%, sorry, at that point, towards the end. So it's had an increase. And the red team, it's at 14.4%. So if you look at this chart, I think this is the most telling chart so far. So the blue line is AMD. So you can see it's been going down over the years. This is from 2010 to 2016. So for 6 years, sideways and then going down. So we're at this point. Now, this I see as a positive, because that means that we have the rest of this market, right, to get to. So for the GPUs at least, right, we have all of this to get it. So because even though Intel is also doing, graphics integrated processors, right, we can still take that, because you have to understand that AMD not only produces GPUs, but they also do CPUs and they do APUs, right? So they do a lot, and plus they do custom CPUs as well for Xbox and all these different gaming companies. So if we've got all this market, and this big chunk to gain, so we can gain market share in this entire space here. So that's really good. This is one of the reasons why I invested in AMD, because I knew they had a long, they had a small piece of the pie. They're only at 14% or whatever it is, and they're going to and they've got the rest of the pie to take a chunk out of. So there is that point. The next tab I have set up here is for the CPU side alone, where it's been going. So this has been historically where AMD and Intel have been. So okay, so I was saying so they had a market share of 48%. AMD had that, and Intel had a 51% market share. So over the years, you can see AMD has been losing market share for the CPUs a lot, and it's down to, what is it now, 17.30% of the CPU market. Is, it's next to nothing. Again, I see this as a positive because the CEO, Lisa Su for AMD, said they haven't had a CPU like this for 10 years. So if you go back 10 years from 2016, 10 years, well, or even further, I mean, it was at 40% market share, and now we're at 17%, right? So at the very least, you can double it. You can double 17 and get to 40, right? So if you can get to 40, then that means the stock price should double as well. So we're looking at what, at least 20, 26, something like that, dollars a share. So this is the positive thing I see about the stock, that it can go higher. It's got all of this to get to, it can get to that level. It can go higher. So anyway, so we got this situation going on, with the decline with AMD over the years of its market share of the CPU market. And also, what else is helping AMD? It's Intel products. So right here we have an article from Extreme Tech, and it's showing that Intel Atom C2 2000 bug, right, is killing products from multiple manufacturers. So it's a bug in the products that they're selling right now. Intel has been selling, and it actually just kills the CPU. So it's a server CPU, and it kills it, right? And it becomes a brick. It becomes useless, and it's costing them so much money to put this right. So that's another positive thing that's helping AMD, because this is draining time, resources, attention away from competing against AMD, and they've got issues. So what's next? What else do we have that helps AMD? So we also have benchmarking. So because these products are going to be launched, so we've got the Ryzen CPU being launched, basically in March the 3rd, around that time, right? So far, people have been benchmarking this and benchmarking the CPU. So what they do is they get a Ryzen CPU, an AMD CPU, and then they compare that to Intel CPUs. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to see which one is faster, right? Which is a better product, right? Which is better to buy. So right now we've got the headline: AMD Ryzen 5 1600 times benchmarks faster than Intel's fastest 6-core, right? And keep in mind that the fastest 6-core is going to be expensive. It'll be around $1,000, if not more. So I think the most telling chart is this one here. So it gives you the positioning of it. So if you see, these are all the CPUs. That's the highest end, and that's where the Ryzen one is above all the 6-core processors that they have. So it just says here, we borrowed the above graph from Guru 3D and added the Ryzen 5 to it for the purposes of comparing it with the current fastest high-end CPU. Assuming that turbo wasn't disabled and the chip was boosted to 3.7 GHz with XFR, it actually manages to outpace both of Intel's 6-core Broadwell East chips, including the fastest SKU on the market, the i7 6850K, which has a boost clock speed of 4 GHz with Intel's Turbo Boost 3.0 technology. The Ryzen 5 establishes a very impressive lead here, outperforming every stock clocked Intel Broadwell E chip, right? And again, this is the multi-core. So that was per core, I think. That was for each core, what the benchmark is. And this is for using multiple cores, using all the cores, maybe all 6, right? And again, it's coming, in pretty high. It's coming in at the highest end for all the. So it says once again the Ryzen 5 manages to outperform every other 6-core Intel chip out there, and even manages to close on the $999 8-core i7 5960X Extreme Edition as well, flagship. Yeah, this is incredible. This is an incredible showing for the 1600X, especially when we consider that it's a $259 chip. So just think about that. It's like 25% of the price of the highest end chipset. The highest end processor. So if you look at that, I know it's getting close to that. It's not on par with it, so I'm saying roughly 25%. But still, it's pretty impressive. Even if it was half the price, it's pretty impressive, right? And then you have all of these. These are the actual processors for Ryzen. This is going to be all the products that they're going to launch. And you have the highest price is $499, which is very, very cheap. In the UK that'd be about 350 quid or something like that. And it's very, very cheap compared to Intel's highest end processor, which is $1,500. So just think about that. So again, this it helps with the stock price a lot. And I think this is the best article so far from Seeking Alpha. It actually shows you what will happen. So it says summary, Ryzen pricing, the impact on the March release. Review of Ryzen will come out February 28th, and this will push the stock up. And they talk about how to trade in options. I'm not really interested in options, because I just buy stock with cash and just do it that way. Because I can't predict where the price will go in the short term, but I do know long term where it's going to go based on basic, you just research the company and you know what they're doing, and hence you can figure it out. It's not all that difficult. So let's see. It says it seems that every day more rumors are circulating about AMD new CPU Ryzen. In this article, we're going to cover what is currently leaking out, and then possibly ways to play it via stock options. Time-wise, AMD is set to release details of Ryzen and tease some of its new GPU Vega at the February 28th Capsaicin and Cream event. Well, we have the GDC event, and this is another event they're talking about. So this is what I mean. There's going to be events, that's hype, and that means the stock price will go up again. It tells you that the time of the event, what time it starts. But so rumors, recently we have noticed rumors concerning price points of for Ryzen. Some have painted the picture that Ryzen will be incredibly low priced. It's high-end 8-core processor compared to Intel. If this is true, then Intel is going to have its hands full, because AMD's line of products is going to be flying off the shelves. AMD has priced its processors very aggressively. On top of that, rumors point to AMD introducing 17 different flavors of Ryzen at very close price points. Here's a few per wccftech.com. So it's the same stuff again that we saw before. But again, at the highest end, you can see 499, and it goes down, down, down to the lowest end. Yeah, for each series. So again, the close pricing of each processor encourages customers to bump up to the next processor. Why buy the $229 when you can get the $259 CPU for just a few more bucks, right? And this makes good sense to do that. So just trying to get as much money as they can out of it. So why is it priced so aggressively? Now, the very affordable price appears to be an attempt by AMD to recapture market share. Again, the graphs that I showed you before, that's all the market share. And I love it that they're trying to go for that and trying to get as much as they can. AMD needs to prove its ecosystem, motherboards, developers that it can move products. So again, they had, I think, many different companies making motherboards for the CPU, and they've guaranteed that you can use the same motherboard for 4 years for the next CPU. So they must have had a deal with them. They would have said to them, hey, I know you're going to lose out, you know, on sales down the line, because we're going to keep the same, you know, motherboard for 4 years, you know, for the next line. But we will make it up to you in, you know, in volume. You know, we're going to show you that really, you know, we can sell the CPU. So basically, the more CPUs you sell, the more motherboards will be sold, and the more motherboards that are sold, the more money those companies will make. And then, but if they can't pull it off, then I suppose that, you know, those companies will be pissed off at them. So they think, look, you know, we went all out for you. You know, we produced these boards, and then we didn't make enough money out of it. So why release in March? So I think this is about taxation. That over Christmas, you know, I think the Americans, they're talking a lot about taxes and how people pay taxes, and the Christmas spending spree as well. So people have just recovered from the spending spree as well, and they've just got a bit of money, and they'll be looking at upgrading. So launching Ryzen in early March gives AMD extra time to polish the CPU, and at the same time people are starting to get early tax returns. Given the extra discretionary income, some people will obviously use the money to upgrade to a newer AMD system. The rumor is for a release of Ryzen on March 2nd. The official word from Ryzen is early March. So this just talks about options play long term. Taking the long view, AMD is a buy. Ryzen for customers, Naples CPU for server, and Raven Ridge APU are going to bring AMD back to the forefront of the CPU battle. Vega will bring them back to the high-end fight against NVIDIA. Driver assist, deep learning, and the mystery semi-custom chip are all nice wildcards in the worlds. Yeah, that don't make no sense. But anyway, the point is that it's a buy. The stock is a buy, and it will be going up. So it's all positive. I don't see any negative in there. So that's what they're saying. They're saying the hype will make this stock go up from a couple of weeks from now. And then on top of that, if you don't believe in the hype on its own, there will be real results. So you'll see it in, I mean, my face is terrible. You can't see it. Light is bad again, but you know, you'll make money. Anyone who buys this stock, I think, will make money on this. So anyway, guys, back to the chart. I think it'll go higher. It has gone above 14 before. If you look at the daily charts, you know, it's gone, I think, 14.6 somewhere, but it has gone higher. Don't know, let me see if I can show you on here. Some people seem to think that it can't go any higher. Here, look at that. That's above 14 already. So it's established that it can go above 14, 14.16 there. But on some of the charts, it's gone a lot higher. So if you're in the stock, stick with it. Got plenty of good news coming. And anyway, I'm going to get off. I think I've been on this video for long enough. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you guys found this video helpful. So please like, comment, and subscribe if you like. And I'll see you in the next one. Danny out. See you later.